What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We are here with our brother Nick.
Hello, how's it going, everybody?
For the first time in Winter. Well, he's been on the podcast and stuff that I post, but first time in person. So this is awesome. We are we're at the beach this week, but of course we've been keeping up with
yeah,
E3 stuff.
We've been watching some E3 this week. We streamed Microsoft and Bethesda's, and then Nintendo's today.
Yep. So we've got some thoughts on both presentations. We watched the other stuff too, but these were kind of not much. Square Enix and Capcom stuff. I mean, there was some okay stuff that was shown, but Nintendo and Microsoft presentation was the main ones we wanted to touch on. So I just want to do kind of just a brief thoughts video on our opinions on the presentations, but let's kick it off with Microsoft and / Bethesda's concert.
Yeah, mostly Microsoft.
Mostly Microsoft, yeah.
This one I felt really good about coming out of.
Yeah.
I thought they had a good mix between deep diving into stuff we've already heard about, and then we've had some surprises as well. So
yeah.
With Redfall, that's Arcane's new game.
Arcane's new game that was, I think the speculation a couple years ago is they filed for the IP, and everyone thought it was going to be some sort of Elder Scrolls game. They thought it was Elder Scrolls 6, but it turns out to be like a vampire 4-person co-op. Do we know if it's first person or not? Did they say?
I think it is, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just like a really nice cinematic trailer.
Yeah.
It looks really good.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was pretty good to end the presentation on.
And then I would say Microsoft's or Xbox's big new announcement was Forza Horizon 5.
Oh yeah, that looked great.
Yeah, I mean that's going to be like a graphical showcase of the Series X and S, and it's going to look amazing. Even Horizon 4, like that was one of the first games I downloaded once I got the Series X just to see
how
powerful it was.
Yeah, I need to go back and I think I played like the first kind of opener, but I didn't really touch it after that. But you really liked it.
I did.
As like not a big racing fan. So.
It's just pretty. It's fun to drive around, and this one comes out this year. It comes out November 9th, so that's kind of presumably their big flagship title this year outside of Halo. Yeah.
Speaking of Halo, I thought that would be kind of the closing thing, but it was like about mid of the presentation. We got a really nice like story kind of trailer, and kind of leading up to the game or whatever, and then we got the multiplayer reveal,
which looks incredible, man. Like that grappling hook and being able to pull weapons towards you.
Oh my gosh,
is really cool.
Yeah. I haven't been this excited for Halo multiplayer probably since maybe 3.
Yeah.
Reach. I mean, they're all fantastic.
Reach was pretty hyped.
Yeah. I mean, they're all fantastic multiplayers. Like people dog on Halo 5, but that still has a great multiplayer. But this, just like it's going to be kind of recapture that old school like Halo 2, Halo 3 kind of vibes.
There's no classes. You just go in and find weapons on the map.
Yeah. It looks super cool. No beta announced or anything like that. I'm
sure they'll have one.
Sure they'll have one.
Point, but
they said holiday? No definitive date yet.
Yeah, so that could be either November or December, I guess.
I don't think that maybe in a couple months they'll give that definitive date with that last delay on last year. I think they just want to make sure that everything is ready to go. It's important, but it looks great. I mean, the cinematics, the graphics look really good. It actually did look a lot better than I think last year's trailer they had for it.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
And then they did kind of like a deep dive into it the next day, and we learned there's battle passes, but you can have them forever. So the battle passes don't run out. You can still unlock everything. Even if a new battle pass comes out, you can choose which one to earn progress towards, and I think that's a really smart answer to a problem that a lot of these games have been having.
Yeah, exactly, because we were talking about it a couple days ago. It's if you play more than one game and you want to get battle passes for both games, you have to make a decision and then you're essentially wasting money because you can't unlock everything. So I think Halo and 343 and Microsoft have done a great job with just what we've seen so far as like you said, their answer to Battle Pass stuff, because I think it's bad. And it's also free to play, so you don't have to have Game Pass. I mean, it's free with Game Pass, but you don't have to have Game Pass to play it for free, which I think is, I think this is probably the biggest Halo multiplayer wise ever. I think.
Yeah,
I think this is going to get a lot of people into it.
Everyone's probably going to try it out at least.
At least try it out. And I think it's going to get a lot of like those old school players back into it that maybe have gone over into like Call of Duty and stuff like that. So definitely, that was kind of my highlight of the show.
Yeah, for sure. And then we got our first sneak peek at Starfield. It was just a cinematic trailer, and that's coming out November 11th, 2022. So
2022.
It's just about the farthest date we've ever seen for a game.
Yeah, that got revealed for Bethesda. I'm totally fine with waiting. I mean, we know Bethesda, they take their time with these games. I mean, it's been 10-year anniversary of Skyrim coming up, so they take forever with their games, but they're always, I mean they're a little buggy, but that's kind of expected, but yeah.
And we know that this is going to be like a Skyrim in space.
Yeah, they confirmed that on the, I think on the next day, that it's pretty much like a Skyrim in space, so.
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
Speaking of Skyrim in space, we got the announcement of Outer Worlds 2.
Yeah.
And a pretty funny trailer.
It was because when it first popped up, you thought it was Fable.
Yeah.
And then it started to pop up for some other stuff, and then the narrator came on, and it was really funny, and then we were like, what the heck is this? And it's Outer Worlds 2, so.
It's in development, probably won't come out until, 2023. Based on
Maybe. Yeah, probably 20. Because it came out in 2019, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, it'll probably be like 2023 before that game comes out. I feel like we need to go back and finish out the first one.
For sure.
But we'll see.
We got Microsoft Flight Simulator. That's coming out to Xbox Series X on July 27th. I don't know if that's coming to Xbox One. I don't think it is.
No. Well, it says on Xbox One and Series X.
I don't know if this is right, though. This is just a random website. This is radiotimes.com. I don't know if they're
legitimate.
Yeah, we'll see if it comes to Xbox One. We might need to confirm.
Yeah, it looks cool though. I mean, July 27th coming out. Looks gorgeous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'll definitely check it out. And then there was like they added like a free expansion that's coming out at the end of the year.
Yeah, the Maverick,
the Top Gun cross. Yeah, so cool.
And then a big surprise for both of us actually was Battlefield 2042. They showed some gameplay of that, and
oh my god,
the weather effects, and fighting against a tornado effectively, fighting through sandstorms. Like that's one thing that we really haven't seen yet in games, probably because these consoles just didn't have the power.
Yeah, I mean, there's been stuff like that with like Just Cause had like tornado stuff.
Yeah,
some weather effects, but
really,
there's not much, at least multiplayer wise, to be able to handle like on a server.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Battlefield I have not been excited for Battlefield in a very long time, and this looks super promising. So 2 multiplayer games that I'm looking forward to this year.
Yeah,
is awesome.
It's a big one. And then we got to look at a bunch of indies.
Yep. Bunch of indie stuff.
Stalker 2.
Stalker 2, yep. That looked interesting.
Yeah, that's coming next year.
That's a first-person shooter, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sea of Thieves got, the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, I want to jump back into Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, that's pretty fun.
Fallout 76 kind of got like a roadmap of its future DLC. And you were saying, you're like, do I need to check this out? But I guess they turned it around.
They turned it around.
Allegedly, I don't know. I can't confirm that myself, but I've never even touched it, so
yeah,
I don't know.
And then we haven't really mentioned Game Pass yet, but oh my god, every game.
Back 4 Blood.
Back 4 Blood's coming to Game Pass.
Back 4 Blood. That was, man, I don't know.
That was a pretty high.
That was a pretty big surprise.
Yeah.
We were kept like every game, like when Battlefield was coming on, we were like, man,
this is Game Pass.
This is Game Pass, and then it wasn't, which it's fine. But yeah, Back 4 Blood, that was a complete surprise. I didn't expect that at all.
That's a good one.
And we were already both very, very hyped for this. So
man, Bethesda has some more games coming to Game Pass. I think they're probably already on there now.
Evil Within 2, I think Fallout 3.
Fallout 3.
There's a couple other things.
Doom Eternal.
The original Doom 2016 is on there.
2016.
There's some other stuff. There's like 9 games, I think.
Yeah,
that was added.
A lot. So Game Pass is doing well right now, and it's going to continue doing well with Flight Sim, Halo, Back 4 Blood. I mean,
you got to think that at some point they're going to have like a price increase for this, but for Game Pass. But even if it's like $20 a month or whatever it is a year, I still think that's worth it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all the major stuff for Microsoft. I think they won E3 by a landslide.
I think they did.
Especially they just
Ubisoft and Capcom.
Yeah, I mean they just absolutely killed it, and the fact that everything's coming to Game Pass is way better. And like we said, they have the most to lose out of everybody, and I think they crushed it. I think Halo looked great as like a showpiece for the next generation, or I guess current generation. Current gen. Yeah, I think they killed it.
They've got some great games coming, and between Halo, Forza, Back 4 Blood, Game Pass. I mean, that's not their game, but still. And then Flight Sim. I mean, that's a fun one.
Yeah.
They just got a lot. They got a lot coming this year, and they have a lot lined up for next year. They didn't even show Fable or Everwild or
Elder Scrolls 6.
But they mentioned them, and they said, hey, we're so hard at work on these, so presumably we're going to see those at least next year. And whether or not they come out next year is a big question, but 2022 is looking pretty hot.
Yeah, which I think that was kind of, I mean, we knew going into like the pandemic that 2020 wasn't going to be affected that much, but 2021 was. Yeah. So, it seems like 2022 is going to be potentially one of the biggest years ever for gaming, and that's pretty exciting going ahead. But still a lot of great stuff, specifically from Microsoft and Xbox and Bethesda this year that we got to look forward to. So, last thoughts on Xbox stuff before we jump on Nintendo?
That was great.
Yeah.
If I had to give it a rating, I would give it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, it was good. It was solid. So Nintendo had their thing earlier.
We were pretty sour on it at first.
Yeah.
And we kept, looking at the time and saying, oh, they just spent 6 minutes on Smash. Oh, they just spent, 3 minutes on a game that's already been announced and shown.
I guess to jump back to Microsoft for 1 second, I thought just their presentation style was great. There was little to no bantering. They had Phil come out, they had Todd Howard come out, and they had what's the head of Bethesda?
I can't remember his name at the moment.
So they had 3 people, I think, come out, maybe a couple more, and that was it. There was no dumb banter like the Nintendo's Direct is full of and was full of.
Nintendo's Direct was half the time of Microsoft's, but they had twice the amount of dialogue that was going over. I think, and you mentioned earlier, Nintendo, I think after this year really needs to reevaluate how they do their Direct, because I just think they're bad at this point. There's too much, like they have a setup of the game going into it, and they announce the game, and then they have like something else after. Then they talk about it. Yeah.
It's like just
let the game speak for itself.
Let the game speak for itself. If you want to have like your post stuff like Microsoft does with their games and explain some other stuff, like do that. But when you set the time limit of 40 minutes, and like you said, we're going into 6 minutes. Like we already know Smash is going to have a character. We already know you're going to have your next. You're going to do like your Sakurai presentation with the video. Like we already know that, but you still talked about it for 6 minutes.
Yeah.
So,
and that's what they started with. They started with the Smash DLC, and that's Kazuya from Tekken. Great. That's
and they totally had like him throwing Ganondorf off the edge of the cliff that
we thought was
which I don't know that character. I don't really know Tekken that well, so maybe people just immediately caught onto it. But I was like,
I thought it was like a remaster
of Zelda or something, whatever game.
Yeah.
Like.
Obviously wasn't.
So speaking of that, no, they specifically mentioned, and I already saw in the comments on other YouTube videos that they're like, oh, well, they're going to hold off on, announcing anything for Zelda's 35th anniversary post Skyward Sword. And they specifically mentioned that there were no other games.
We're in development.
I don't think there's anything else, unless they...
No, this is it. The, whatever that thing is, the Game & Watch.
The Game & Watch got announced.
Legend of Zelda Game & Watch. That's going to be it for the 35th anniversary.
Which is cool, but but the fact that it was like kind of a flagship announcement at their Direct was a huge bummer. And I don't think they're going to do anything else for 35th. They may do like some merch or whatever, but game related, I think Skyward Sword is it. And then Amiibo. And that's a huge bummer to me.
And like, they could even just port over a Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. You know, they could do that and call it a day, but it doesn't even sound like they're doing that.
Yeah, I don't think they're doing it.
They might be saving it for another time, you know. We're getting one Zelda this year. I don't know if having more than that would be smart, but
yeah, that and I think that was probably my biggest. Like after they said that, and then of course they jumped into the Breath of the Wild stuff, and that kind of just poo-pooed the whole experience for me because that's really what I wanted. But let's talk about the good stuff. I mean, we got a good look at Mario Golf, which I mean that looks so much fun.
That's coming out, you know, 25th. That's pretty soon.
Yeah, 25th.
Last look at that. We got a new Metroid game.
Yeah,
Metroid 5.
Yeah.
Metroid Dread.
Metroid Dread, and it looks awesome.
Yes, this looks incredible. You know, I'm not like a huge Metroid fan. I played Samus Returns on the 3DS and thought that was fantastic.
I think we probably, because I'm kind of in your same boat, I think we might be more Metroid fans than we think because we love like Hollow Knight and like Ori and stuff that we just haven't really given like the 2D Metroid the chance. So maybe we actually are.
So we're huge Metroid fans. No, this looks really incredible. It looks like it's taking all the awesome mechanics from Samus Returns and kind of evolving on those, and you know, just making it better. And my hands got so cramped playing on the 3DS, playing Metroid, because we were using the shoulder buttons to aim or holding it down to aim and everything. And you know, having this on the Switch is gonna be a lot better. So, you know, new Metroid game. They mentioned Metroid Prime 4, said that development was going well.
Yeah,
we won't see that this year. That's a 2022 game.
I was kind of hoping they would do a remaster of the 3.
Of the trilogy.
Maybe they'll do that the year of or whatever. Hopefully that'll come at some point. They showed some gameplay of Shin Megami Tensei 5, which I've never played any of those games and haven't really heard of it until they announced this one. So,
but I'm glad it's coming out. It's coming out.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Metroid Dread. That's coming out in October.
This year, yeah.
October 9th, I think. Oh shit. And then Shin Megami Tensei is coming out in November 12th. So that's awesome. That game was first shown off in the January 2017 Nintendo Switch event.
Yeah.
So it's been around for a while. I'm glad it's finally come to life.
Yep. New WarioWare game coming out. Get It Together.
Yeah.
That looks. I mean, if you've played a Wario game, you kind of know what you're to expect. They're kind of just goofy, fun little mini games.
That's coming in October.
Yeah, October.
New Mario Party.
Yep.
Or kind of a new Mario Party.
Yeah, it's like a collection of like the 100 best mini games from like the Nintendo 64 era. Is that what is it mentioned?
Yeah, I think so.
And then it's got online support day 1, so I think them using the online from Super Mario Party just. Maybe that was like the beta for this game.
Testing the waters.
Which we kind of feel, we kind of had a feeling that it was going to be either a new game or something like this. I will say the WarioWare, Mario Party, $60 games.
WarioWare is only $50.
WarioWare's $50.
Mario Party is $60. That's a lot. I mean,
yeah, that's a lot for that. I even saw a couple people poo-pooing Metroid Dread bidding $60.
I mean, it depends how long. Like, it's probably going to be a pretty big game.
Yeah,
it's probably going to be a 15-hour game. So
probably got a lot of replayability too.
Yeah, I'm sure they're trying to find a way to make that $60 price tag worth it. But of course, I say that and
it's Nintendo
coming out, and that doesn't have any extra features except quality of life.
Quality of life is Platinum. And then they ended off after they poo-pooed Zelda's 35th anniversary. They ended off with a little gameplay look at the sequel to Breath of the Wild.
Looks awesome.
Yeah, it looks great. It looks awesome. It's just kind of a random collection of new stuff that's in the game, warping through platforms. Looks cool.
Has a heavy emphasis on the sky.
Yeah,
it takes place in the sky this time.
Yeah, more sky oriented.
I think it takes place in two different time periods, because in one clip he was flying in, it looked like the original Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
And then another one, he had this thing going on with his arm, presumably from the Calamity, and he had his new outfit on.
Yeah.
His hair was out. It's looking pretty.
Yeah, it looks weird and strange, and had like that weird like kind of music that Breath of the Wild 1 had, but
it's actually that music played backwards.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, and it kind of had like a little bit of like Twilight Princess vibes with the music too. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, I think after dwelling on it for a couple of hours, I'm not poo-pooing on it as hard, but I'm still upset that we didn't get any sort of like collection pack for Zelda, whether that was Ocarina of Time or whatever. But there was still some good stuff. I think Metroid, coming out of that with Metroid, I think was. I mean, that was kind of the biggest. That was like the biggest surprise of it.
And one thing I can say, like for Nintendo compared to Microsoft's event, is Nintendo had some new announcements. They had Metroid Dread, they had WarioWare, and Mario Party. And even though those aren't, aside from Metroid, like those aren't really
they're not
exciting
huge
games.
They're not like system sellers or anything.
It's still
like
some
that.
new stuff, and it's kind of reminiscent of. It was like a direct in 2018 or 2019.
Yeah.
That it was one of the last ones that featured the 3DS, but they announced like a new WarioWare game and a new Mario Party game. So it kind of feels like that, where we're kind of nearing the end of the Switch's life cycle and getting those collection games, getting those kind of B-tier games, and that's okay. Like,
so quick thoughts. So Zelda confirmed as 2022. Mm-hmm. All the lead up to E3, all the pro rumors, everything was kind of, well, in most people's eyes, was going to get announced for this year. Do you think there's still a Switch Pro out there, and do you think it's going to launch aside with Breath of the Wild? No idea if it's Breath of the Wild's coming out at the end of the year next year or like springtime, kind of like Zelda did, like the original did, Breath of the Wild 1. Like maybe like a March, April release date. So we have no idea what that time frame looks like.
Yeah.
Do you think if there is a Switch Pro, do you think it launches alongside of Zelda? Or do you think at this point?
I think at this point, whatever has been rumored is just a new Switch. It's going to be the Switch 2 or the whatever you call it.
Whatever the new console is, hybrid is. Coming up on next year, that'll be 5 years. 5 years,
for the Switch. The Wii U had a life cycle of 4 years or whatever. That was pretty short.
Yeah.
But they might as well just do a completely separate console at that point.
Yeah,
move on.
That's what I prefer. I mean, I've never PS4 Pro, Xbox One X. They were cool, but I never really. I didn't need it. I know the games ran a lot better on those versions, on those consoles, but I never really had the need to or want to go and buy one of those. But the Pro, it's just, again, it's Nintendo.
Yeah. You
just want it. And that was ready, because like the Nintendo Switch, the original base, is kind of showing its age a little bit. And I'm thinking with the Breath of the Wild 2 or whatever it's called, I think I might chug a little bit on the base model Switch, so I'm thinking something new's got to come with it, I think.
Yeah,
but
and it's presumably using the same engine as the first Breath of the Wild.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
But that one chugged too. I chugged a little bit on the Switch.
It'd be nice to have 60 frames on a Zelda game. I don't know if that's possible even on the Switch Pro, but
yeah, I mean, I imagine they're going to use a lot of the same assets from the original, and then expand upon it with the Sky stuff that they've got going on. But I don't know. Either way, I'm excited for it. Looked great.
2022 is stacked with Elden Ring,
Starfield,
Zelda.
Yeah, potentially God of War. Maybe Horizon.
So we got.
Sorry, we had like a little bit of a issue with the phone, and I thought everything got deleted for the 25-minute video we just recorded, but we're all good.
But looking ahead to 2022, we got Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild 2, Elden Ring, Starfield, God of War, and then Horizon.
Potentially, yeah. We don't know what.
Potentially, depending on when.
I'm thinking that may come out this year, but
that might be Sony's big.
Yeah. Other than that, they don't really have much.
Yeah.
This year. But yeah, next year is looking to be super stacked. And of course, all that stuff could be pushed, especially Starfield. That's probably got a big potential of getting pushed. But
I think
big year.
2022 could be another 2017.
Yeah, 2017
was stacked.
Just like 2007. 2007 was like what, Halo 3, Call of Duty 4, BioShock.
Dead Space also.
Dead Space might have been there. So, yeah, big year. And then hopefully EA's got its stuff next month. So maybe
we'll see some more Skate.
More Skate, maybe some Dead Space.
Yeah.
I would love to see a remaster, like a collection. I would totally.
Yeah,
totally
I could see them.
Why not?
See them toying around with that.
Like put it out in October or something.
Is that all we have coming up, EA? And then
EA's it, yeah.
Sony's still, kind of absent.
Sony's MIA right now, which we figured they would be for
they've
this.
had some good games coming out recently. They just had Ratchet Clank and
Ratchet.
I don't know what they would have in the state of play necessarily. So
yeah, I don't know what else they put out, unless they just announce new stuff or talk about God of War.
Yeah.
But yeah, anything else you want to discuss from the past couple days?
I mean, a lot of the smaller presentations were pretty disappointing. Ubisoft, Capcom.
Resident Evil Village DLC confirmed.
Yeah,
I have no idea what it is, but hopefully it's not mercenary stuff and we get some proper like story mode stuff. But that's exciting.
I don't know.
That's pretty much it, right? I mean,
yeah. Would you say you're satisfied with E3 this year, or was it a little disappointing?
I'd say I'm satisfied. I think Microsoft did a fantastic job with their presentation. I think Nintendo did an okay job. Again, we just always go into Nintendo overhyped like crazy, so we're always disappointed. But I was glad to see we got to see Breath of the Wild, the sequel, and yeah, I think I'm ready for like E3 proper next year if they do one. If the company's coming together again, I like feeling that vibe on the stage, feeling the energy from the crowd. Yeah, I think Microsoft definitely stole the show. Their presentation in general was good. Their announcements were good. I think it was good.
Yeah,
I think it was good. But yeah, that's going to wrap up. We just want to do. Well, it ended up being about 30-minute video. We just want to do our quick thoughts on the E3 in general. And since we weren't doing our podcast this week, I'm sure we'll talk about it next week when but just quick thoughts on the vibes of E3.
On the vibes.
But yeah, we'll see you guys in the next video.
Bye bye.